I'm so anxious just to feel the silence. It's so quiet, but I hear you. Say it to me, baby. Say our time, we're making up time. Time you wasn't really waking up.
Hey my loves, it's me Keisha and I am back with another behind the scenes tea video. Y'all, this controversy with Kenya Moore just keeps on going. As soon as I think that it's dying down, here comes another story. Well, now we have to talk about the fact that her co-star and frenemy, Porsha Williams, started a YouTube channel a few days ago where she discussed some behind the scenes tea from episode 4 and 5. And a lot of us were side-eyeing that because Porsha has never recapped the show ever in the history of her being on Atlanta Housewives. And it was mighty funny to me that she decided to start this YouTube channel after several episodes had already began. And it made me wonder, is she doing this as a redirect, as a distraction from her own life and what she got going on? Why is she starting a YouTube channel right now doing this big controversy with Kenya? And considering the fact that they were starting anew once again on building a rapport with one another, it just seemed really suspicious to me that she would go on her YouTube channel and reveal all of this unnecessary tea, if you know what I mean. It was just giving messy, and it just made me side-eye her and the entire situation. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's take a look at what Porsha had to say about the Kenya and Britt Edie situation on her YouTube channel.
There is a housewife still on the show right now who gave Kenya that nude information. No, I'm going to expose that. Everybody needs to know who she is. That was crazy to
me. So who do you guys think was the one that gave Kenya these nude pics of Britt Edie? She said that it's a housewife that is currently on the show right now. So that leaves Drew, Angela, Cynthia, Kelly, and Shamia. Who do you think that she's talking about? I don't think that it was Kelly because Kelly and Britt were cool at that point in time. I don't think that it was Cynthia because Cynthia wasn't around, obviously, for real. She's just a friend of. It could have been Angela Oakley because she did tell Kenya in that episode, like, I got your back and everything. It could have been Shamia. You know, it could have very well been Shamia as well, being messy. So I'm going to say, or it could have been Drew, because, you know, Drew likes to get her hands dirty too. So I'm going to lean more towards Drew or Angela Oakley. I'm really thinking that it's Drew, though, was the one that did it, because we all know Porsha cannot stand Drew. And of course, she would want to expose her at the reunion. But that wasn't all that Porsha had to say. Let's also take a listen to this.
For the rest of the season after that, and it was very unfortunate because I had great plans for us, you know what I'm saying? And I still have great plans for us when she comes back next year. But, or if she comes back next year, I hope she comes back next year. But we'll just see what ends up happening with that. And I didn't want anybody fired. I definitely wanted just for somebody to be maybe reprimanded, maybe some episodes or suspended or whatever. But there is a housewife, again, who is not the same one, but there's a housewife that's still on the show right now that went several times to try to get Kenya fired. And that was crazy to me because how are you going to do that? How are you going to go? I've never called for somebody to get fired. I mean, at the end of the day, we all working, trying to make a living for our kids and our families. I would never, at the end of the day, call for nobody to get fired, okay? But this person went behind closed doors and asked for Kenya to be fired multiple times. And this person is still on the show. And it's really funny because, yeah, anyway. we'll save that for later. That'll come out later. But let's sip on that. Put a pin in that too. We lost.
So Porsha is over here just telling it all, honey. Telling it all. Now, remember, she said it's not the same person that gave Kenya the nude pics. So I'm going to assume and guess that the person that went to production multiple times trying to get Kenya fired was probably Kelly. I don't think that it's Britt Edie, because that's not even tea. We, of course, would think that she would do it, and her and Porsha now are cool, so I don't think that she would throw Britt under the bus. So I'm going to suspect that it was either Kelly or Angela Oakley that tried to get Kenya fired from the show. But I wonder why Porsha is talking so much. This is what I want to know. And I'm wondering, like, is this a distraction to keep the audience attention with what's going on outside of the show, and for them not to focus on what these next couple of episodes is going to look like? Because now that Kenya's gone, remember, they were struggling when it came to storylines. The ladies were not bringing it. That's why they had to bring Phaedra in 2 weeks before the season wrapped. So it's giving Porsha trying to keep this Kenya Britt situation going to take focus off of the lackluster season we're about to get now that she's gone. The whole thing is just very, very suspicious. Well, Kenya obviously got wind to Porsha saying that one of the housewives was the one that gave Kenya the ammo on Britt. And this is what Kenya had to say in response. She wrote, "Absolutely no one on the show gave me anything. Stop using my situation for clickbait." Ooh. Ugh. Ugh. Porsha responded and said, "That's a lie. We talked day and night, and I personally went to network/production and fought for you before you showed her underage explicit pics. I also went after as well because I was hurt you had to leave. I checked on you because I cared and care. I'm not your enemy at Kenya." Now, see, this is the Porsha that I cannot stand. And this has been a topic of conversation since this season began, wondering how long will Kenya and Porsha be able to keep it together as far as them being cordial, cool, working on a friendship. And once again, for me, it's Porsha stabbing her in the back and snaking her once again, because she should have left it at that. If the girl is saying no one on the show gave me anything, shut up. Shut up about it. She's not out here talking about what you got going on with Simon and accusing you of this and accusing you of that, or exposing any tea that you might have told her about your situation. She should have just left it alone after that. And it is giving you're using what's going on right now for clickbait. You ain't never talked about the show ever, 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 ever. And then for Porsha to come and fight back saying that's a lie, we talk day and night. Like, why are you exposing it? And then the biggest stab in the neck for me was you showed her underage explicit pics. Like, now you're going to add gasoline to the fire by saying that the pics of Britt were underage. That was a part of the story that we, the public, did not know. But now that you've put that out there, it makes the situation 10 times worse and makes Kenya look 10 times bad. And it's giving you did it on purpose. It's giving very much you did it on purpose. And it's like, once again, here go Porsha on some dirty, sneaky, trifling, low down type of time. This lady cannot be trusted. Well, after that, Kenya didn't respond anymore to Porsha. I'm pretty sure she was very upset with Porsha's response, because I would have been, because now everybody's talking about it and saying it's even worse that she did this and put out these underage pics of Britt and everything. And now Britt is running with that narrative and trying to play the victim. But here's my thing. This is the same woman that bragged not once but twice already this season about the fact that she was a video vixen and was in men's magazines while in high school. So we already knew that she was out here thotting and bopping. She obviously rejoices in that, is proud of that. So once again, where is the issue? Because she obviously didn't have any issues with it. She proudly boasted about her exploits while in high school on the show already, not once but twice. So I'm so confused once again at exactly what did Kenya do wrong? But to me, this is just once again Porsha being sneaky, snaky, and trying to throw this girl under the bus. Trying to throw her under the bus, trying to make her look bad. And it's just like, you cannot trust Porsha. You can't trust her as far as you can throw her. And I feel bad for Kenya because once again, I think that she really came into the season thinking that maybe things could get better. And I feel like Porsha is still trying to play the, I supported you, I had your back, I felt so bad, and if you felt so bad, you wouldn't have got on the internet talking about the situation and then further tried to throw her under the bus by saying that the photographs were underage pics of Brit. And then you going so far as to befriend Brit now that you yourself have fallen out with pretty much the whole cast now, including Kenya. You don't have a relationship with Angela. You don't have a relationship with Kelly. You don't have a relationship with Shamia. You and Cynthia were never that close, Now you and Kenya back into it. So who else does she have? Brit. They're both on an island, so they had no choice but to link up together. It's just a mess. It really, truly is. This is a hot damn of a mess. And if that wasn't enough, here comes Nene throwing her little 2 cents in, because when Nene went through her situation with production, Kenya said this in a interview.
Clearly means that the network is sending you a message. You're not as important as you think you are. Clearly means that the network is sending you a message. You're not.
She took that, posted it, and said the message is very clear with a ha 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 ha. Now, for Kenya, did that age well? No, it did not. It did not. And it is very true that production is showing her that you don't mean that much. You're not that important to them. But I think that goes for the Black housewives, period. That's just how I feel all the way around. The only difference between Kenya and Nene is that Kenya was not fired. She is still, as of right now, welcome back for next season if she chooses to. Now, depending on how and what she says on Monday, when she goes live on her YouTube channel to explain her side of the story, she may or may not still have a job after that. But child, like I said, this thing just keeps on growing legs. Everybody got something to say. Everybody's spilling tea. Everybody's taking jabs and shots at one another. This is insane. This is not what I expected for Real Housewives of Atlanta Sweet 16 return. Like, I guess you could say Atlanta is back because it's filled with controversy and we haven't had this much talk around Atlanta since the Bolo situation. So I guess all publicity is good publicity, if you want to say. I don't know, but y'all let me know. Do y'all think that Porsha was being messy on purpose? Do you think that it was Porsha having another dumb blonde moment? Do you think that she's being malicious? Let's talk about it down below in the comment section, and please tell me who you think was the housewife that gave Kenya the nude pics, and who do you think was the housewife that was trying to get Kenya fired? Let's talk about it. I can't wait to read what you guys have to say. Please make sure you guys thumbs up this video. Help your girl. It helps the algorithm. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, do not hesitate. Click that subscribe button right now. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.